I'm Jessica from Pet Intel. I'm doing a little demonstration here working with the leash dance, which is what I call teaching loose leash walking, with this small dog. And this dog is very fast. Her name is Coraline. She's a dachshund who is about 6 months old. And it is very difficult when you are teaching leash walking to move appropriately around a little dog and making sure your timing is good. I just want to point out first and foremost how to hold the leash. So you want to have your hand, your palm facing the ground, and loop your leash over your pointer finger and make a fist. Both of the ends of the leash are coming out the bottom, and you're making a fist. With this leash, there is no handle. However, if there is a loop on the end of the handle, you're going to put that over your thumb just so that you have it in your hand easily. If you were walking a big dog and it started to drag you, you could simply open your hand and the leash would fall to the ground. So the second thing I want to show you about loose leash walking is how to ground your leash in the event you get in a situation where your dog is really distracted by the environment and you're having difficulty controlling, or if you're going to be greeting someone on the street. This is an easy way to control your dog and make sure that they don't have an opportunity to misbehave, jump up at somebody. So Coraline right now is a little distracted by the environment, and I don't want to see someone trying to lift their leg up and put their foot on the leash. That's something that's going to get you very hurt, especially if you have a large dog. So what you want to do is let your leash, holding it properly loose until it hits the ground. And with your other hand, you're going to bring your dog in close to your body. And where the leash loops down and hits the ground, you're going to step on that with the ball of your foot, holding the other end and making it really tight like an L. This way, if you have a strong dog and it's pulling on this side, it's not going to slip out from under your foot. So you're going to make a really strong grip like this. That way, it gives the dog just enough space so that they can sit, lie down, or stand comfortably. And they can't jump up at a stranger, and they also can't jump up and lunge at other dogs or be distracted by the environment. Okay, one more one. So a very important thing to remember before we start doing leash dancing is where you're holding your leash. You're going to hold your leash on the side that the dog is going to be walking on. So I have my leash in my hand here, holding it on this side. Right now, the leash is tense because Coraline is pulling something into the environment. So I'm going to switch my treats to make sure they're in the opposite pocket than the dog is walking on, so that I'm not going to be trying to use the same hand that I'm holding the leash to treat the dog. So this way, you really need to get used to this exercise where you lean down and you're going to reach across your body to give the dog a treat. Obviously, with smaller dogs, that's a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, so the very first step of leash walking is to just take a step and have your dog come in, and when your dog comes into you, you're going to reward them. So this looks very easy right now. She's making this very simple for me. However, she does get quite distracted. So let's just start to walk. And she's walking beautifully right now, so I'm taking a step back. If she gets too far ahead, and I'm rewarding her. At the side, I want her head. So really, in leash dancing with step one, you're really doing a lot of walking backwards, but you want to go to the side of the dog's neck. Very nice, Coraline. You want to go to the side of the dog's neck so that you're not pulling straight back and that you're not pulling from behind here, dragging the dog's head. You want it to be from the side of the neck, and simply put a little bit of pressure. If the dog refuses to come forward or come backwards towards you, you're just going to stand and wait for them to make that choice and then reward them here. Okay, so going to leash dance step two. Right now, Coraline's demanding from me that I give her a treat because she's walked towards me. So this tells me this is pretty easy for her and it's time to move to step two. So I'm going to walk backwards. She comes into my space. Once she's come into my space, I'm going to start to turn towards her. My leash is a little long. You can see she's tripping on it, so I just pull the leash like this, hold it again in my hand, make a fist. So I walk backwards. She comes into my space, but now I want to turn towards her. And the reason that we turn towards the dog is because we don't want to turn away from them. That makes them have to speed up to catch up to us. And again, it sends them off. So this is something where you have to work very quick when you're working with a small dog. So moving forward, she gets ahead. I back up. She comes into my space, and I'm going to turn towards her. Now we want her to be able to stay with us as we're walking in a circle towards her. There she goes. Yes, very nice. So now she slows down, and she's learning the dance, backing up. Good job, Coraline. As I move, she gets out of the way. I have to back up again. She comes in beside me. No, I have to back up again. where I want her to be. I'm going to turn towards her. Excellent. Yes. There we go. Okay, leash dance step 3. This is the last and final step. You don't want to forget about those first 2 steps because you're often going to have to go back. Now that your dog in this environment is able to complete step 1 and 2 easily, we want to make sure that we're only rewarding with high value, which is food, for step 3. Backing up in step 1, she's in my space, turn towards her. Step 2, good job, Corlin. Walking straight, step 3. Okay, so again, just a reminder, recap leash dancing. When you're going to change the environment and go to an environment that's more distracting, again, you're going to have to go back to step 1. Just to summary, step 1, backing up. Your dog comes in towards you and you would reward there. Step 2, turning towards your dog. Very nice, Corlin. Step 3, we're now walking straight, beautifully together. Reward your dog.